Hello everyone, welcome to another Green Dragons Gaming. Without us, they wouldn't feel like winners. Without them, we couldn't look so good. So again, we're based out of Westchester, playing up in Phoenixville right now. We actually do have an event going on in March at our local gaming store that's up there. And I'll be giving out some more details later on, but we definitely do have that date set. It's for mid-March. I believe it's March 12th off the top of my head. Since far enough away, I'm not going to go ahead and into more. Now, this is a very unique game, so for those of you who don't like using Universal Battles or Warhol or anything like that, I apologize for you now. Turn it off and please move on. Otherwise, this is a SmithF Invitational. This is for the YouTubers, for the Ninth Age website, and bunch of real good players. We're out to have fun. We're playing fun lists, and I really like how he has this set up. So everyone has their main list of 3,000 points. And then you have two sidebars, side A and side B. Now, unfortunately, I didn't take enough pictures. And if you want, go ahead and it's Yougseward. I'll have to try to find the link and attach it to this. But awesome guy. His name is Max. Awesome guy from Australia. Played him round one. Was just our main list, our 3,000 point list. So we'll call it list A. Going off. He was playing Beast Herds, and I won that like a 13-7. So then I got paired up with Math CD, another YouTuber. Again, I'll put up a link for his content. Awesome guy, based out of Switzerland. His name's Matthew, and gentlemen, both of these gentlemen, I would play again in a heartbeat. So this is his list. He's playing Infernal Dwarves. His main list, as you can see, is his list A, and then he's playing me with his list C, which I thought was a little interesting. He's got a Prophet with Alchemy. Alchemy doesn't do too much against me because I'm playing my Ogres in this. Because I don't know, I'm not playing my KOE until the lab is done, or at least goes to Alpha. Let's see. He's got the extra vassals with paired weapons. Relentless Company. He's got slaves. He's got more Kadim Incarnates. I hate those things. And 6 Turok Enforcers. It's not a bad little unit, actually. Looking at it, and they've got the Infernal Weapons, Shields, Champs, Musicians. They're Res 5. So, and they're much cheaper than Turok Anointed. So, yeah, no, I mean, it's, to me, this is a solid list. He's got the, where is it? He's got the Bastion that's going to go in with the Blunderbuss. So something that my army absolutely needs to fear is getting shot off the board with that. But again, it's the Alchemy and not the, running that Blunderbuss, I think I would like to see Witchcraft with Raven's Wing, because that to me is just boss right there. Here's my list. I definitely changed it up since Mountain Mayhem. Again, 3,000 points, then we have sidebars of 1,500. And this is a very unique game where it's going to be Dawn Assault, but we're also playing Assassination. We both got to pick characters in each other's lists that we need to kill. Let me go back to his. So looking at this, I'm like, all right, well, he's got 2 mobile guys. I don't have shooting, so I'm going to go after his BSB. That should be where the main, he should be near where the action is. For me, he chose my Shaman to turn around and kill. Personally, I probably would have went after either my BSB because he gets Flaming or something like that. But, you know, that's what he chose. So here is deployment. Again, as I said, Dawn Assault, and I scouted the trappers up in the ruins. This is after Vanguards. That unit there on the left is not supposed to be there. It's just an extra unit. He's reforming the one back behind, as you can see. The one that looks like a Tetris board. And that's it. Now, he went ahead and dropped 1, and then I dropped, or he allowed me to drop, and I went for first turn. So I'm playing aggressive. I go ahead, I push, and this is how I look at this point in time. Now, if you notice the Yetis, I'm going to go back quick pick. were there. I did push up. This is actually after his turn. I didn't take an earlier pick. I apologize. He charged them. I fled, and that's where they ended up. So during my turn, and does he do shooting? And during his magic and shooting phase, he lights me up. He lights me up so bad with that bruiser brick. I'm down to 2 bruisers. And that's on the left-hand side, not the main Death Gut Star, but the little 5 bruisers that I have that I could always throw a character, act like a bunker type of deal. And I'm down to two models at 6 wounds out of 15 between his magic and shooting. It was brutal. So during my turn, I went ahead and I did charge the Anointed. He chose to take it because and I charged the, what were they? The Tuskers first, because if he chose to flee, I would then have pushed him off the board using the big critter, and then pursued and fled. So let's see, next slide. This is what ends up happening, is he positioned it so that I could not do an overrun into his character that's back there. We set it so it's like, all right, yeah, sure, whatever. And I couldn't get an overrun in with the slaves. I'm chaffing him up with the 2 bruisers, and that's it. That is how this looks. So next turn, as you can tell, his Anointed aren't there anymore. I don't think I even took a single wound. Between my impact hits and the critters underneath, I just demolished that unit. And the giant critter, because the Anointed weren't there, the slaves were not using their discipline anymore, my Rock just mulched that other unit, ran him over. He made all his tests. And again, I'm trying to go after that BSB at this point in time. He charged me with his Kadim Titan and would have taken him then into my Rock. I'm like, I don't want any part of that. So I chose to flee. And with my Tuskers, and that's why my Tuskers are now unfortunately chaffing my big bus. I do have +1 resilience, so I'm resilience 5 with them. And he's more concerned with the guys coming around the bend there, being the Rock. And I can understand that. That thing is scary. The Yetis failed to rally, and they're still fleeing. Again, I was using the 2 bruisers as chaff. He charged them. I fled. And then, let's see. Yep, this is after. So then after his movement, this is how it looks. I did rally all my Tuskers and everything, actually everything on the board. I'm getting a lot of heat from people I know who play Ogres. Again, I've had the army for years, but I've never played them. I'm painting them up now. And that last army was again owned by Jeff Durham that everyone saw me post. I like the cult leader on the Great Khan, so it's Discipline 9 bubble. Again, maybe it's the KOE in me or Dwarven Holds, but I like that higher leadership compared to the BSB because I think that one-time roll versus maybe losing your BSB or anything like that. Now it's not tied to that character. I just think it's a little bit better, especially if you're trying to win and play that chaff game. So this is his movement at this point in time, and as I said, I rally, and my kitty cat moves up, and what I'm trying to do here, and this obviously was a mistake on my part. I didn't have to be like that, and I thought, or I should have just been a little bit more square up with the Rock just to go in. I was trying to be a little cute and fancy, going, all right, if that thing flees, won't be able to, rallies, won't be chaff me up. And that's exactly what happens, and you'll see that here in just a moment. When he rallies that, I charge my BSB out of my unit because it has a Rampager's chain on him. I'm like, all right, I can go in there. He challenges me out. I do charge, flank, and 4 wounds, so I'm sitting at 6. He's only sitting at 5. I win by 1. Or I go in there and I do some wounds. I win, and again, just pin him there. So at this point in time, I go ahead and I allow him to. Nope. What did I do? What did I do? So at this point in time, I charge in. I pin him there. His turn. Countercharges me. I should have fled right here. I should have fled with the Tuskers to keep them alive. I chose not to. I didn't. I don't know Infernal Dwarves enough, and just looking at it, I'm like, all right, maybe I can do 1 or 2 wounds to him. I think I did 1 wound, but he did 3 to me. And I end up losing my BSB, not in this turn, but it doesn't make a difference. So he killed. I'm missing that. All right, so he kills my Tuskers, and my BSB is still holding for a turn. Here's going to be my next mistake. He overruns into my big brick. I did not chaff the anointed, not the anointed, the Kadim Titan with my rock. Instead, I pulled it back, and I just should have chaffed him. Just flat out should have chaffed. He overran. This was his mistake. He overran into my big bus. Well, I've got a Great Con in there with a 4-up. With a 4-up Aegis save, and still my magic phase to come up after this. And my BSB is holding strong. So again, now this is the start of his movement phase. The Turok are actually engaged in combat. You can see his general is dead, and that's because it went in the flank. He did 1 wound to me. I had +1 resilience plus break the spirit up on his mage, and I did 3 wounds to his character, or 2. Yeah, I did 3 wounds. Yeah, I did no wounds with my other guys. I did 3 wounds there, and between 3 wounds, 2 ranks, banner, he just popped. His BSB's too far away, but he gets his Kadim Titan into the flank of the BSB, and the BSB just has a 4-up fortitude and 5-up armor. So basically nothing against that, and he's wielding a great weapon. Long story short, Mr. Titan is going to eat the BSB. So this is how the board looks. Oh, I missed something. He charged me on the flank over there, and this was again lucky on his part. He does a total of 3 wounds to me. I do 2 wounds back to him. All right, it can happen. A little below average on my part. I don't know what the average would have been for him. However, I rolled an 11. I'm like, oh, they're gone. And that's why we now have what we look like here. And he, during his magic phase, he pentagrammed and pained off my cat. That's there. That's the only thing I don't like about the cat. It's only 2 wounds. Let's see. So, yep. And now we're back to where we should have been. He turned around and ate me. It is now my turn. So he does this, which says he's over 1 inch away from his Titan, so he can't break that 1 inch, so it kind of puts him in a predicament. So I charge into the flank of the Turok with the Yetis, knowing full well they're going to die. And I'm tell you what, I'll just show the next picture. So now I'm chaffing up his Kadims, and I charge him with the Yetis. I know full well they're going to die. They're there for one reason only. Possibly win combat, but not likely. Pin them. That's what I want to do. Is I want to pin them. My big bus goes in and to go beat up on the Kadim, And yeah, he's got rerolls to wounds against me and things like that. However, I still have a magic phase, and I end up having Children of Umi, and my shamanism has the 5-ups, and I end up putting, I think, Break the Spirit up on him again. So he's hitting me on 5s. He's wounding me on uh, 3. Being the unit. So overall, I'm not concerned, and his grind is only a hit wounding me on 5s, and then Children of Umi's -1 wound, so hit me on 6s, or wounding on 6s, even with the reroll. He ends up doing 1 wound to my shaman, and I overrun into him, overrun after I blow up his Kadim, and go right into that bunker back there. The Yetis, they do their job. They kill 2 models, and they're holding, which is now going to force him to charge my flank. This is an assassinate scenario, so he needs to really take care of that BSB, because again, I'm hunting for him. Unfortunately, shamanism, I don't have the right really great tools to deal with a 2-up armor save. I could have, I guess, done totemic summons a couple different times through the game, but I don't know. I chose not to because I was more concerned about the close combat. I need to get better with shamanism. I'm going to be the first to say that. But overall, I'm liking how this performed. He had to take care of the chaff, being the trappers. Trappers did their job perfectly. And that's it. So he ends up... so we're going to go... So we're about ready to go into turn 6. So there's that charge. He kills the Yeti. He's like this. I do a reform and go right into his big bus with the Bastion, and after spells, so I have the -1 wound over there, and Break the Spirit on his big bus. So overall, I'm happy. I mean, it was an 8-5 phase. I'm happy with the results. I end up just killing the Bastion because I need the points at this point. I've got the one lone gunman down below, the lone champion. I did manage to take out his general, and this is how it looks. So he goes ahead. He tries to shoot my my one model down below. He fails one of his spells to get off. Oh no, that wasn't it. I allowed the Quicksilver Lash to go off. It does no wounds. And I had 6 dice left over to whatever he had. He's like, all right, you're going to stop the 1 spell, so we're going to end magic phase. Try shooting him. He actually does 2 wounds. I think we may have forgotten that he needed 6s to wound me. But even still, he does 2 wounds onto the model. He goes, panic. I'm like, single model. Single model doesn't take panic tests at this point in time. So this is exactly how it ends up. And this was a great game. This was a fun game. Sorry if it seems like I'm kind of blowing through the slides real quick. But, it's ogres. It's what happens. So it ends up being a 10-10 tie. This was, like I said, this was just a lot of fun. If you ever have a chance to play this gentleman, Math CDs, real name is Matthew, from Switzerland, I would absolutely tell you to do it. This was by far one. I mean, we're joking the whole time and everything else, and we're playing a good, clean game. But yeah, and obviously mistakes were made. My big mistake was right here. I should have just had that 1 mile squared off because he couldn't charge me. It's just what I should have done, and I should have had the. And when he did charge me with the 1 character, I just should have fled. Literally, just should have fled. Let it go. I know what he was trying for. Just let it go. Meanwhile, those Turok, they not only did they make the DTs from dangerous terrain, they also made all the DTs from the traps. So he didn't roll a single one out of, it was 9, 6, 6, 9, about 9 or 10 dangerous trains. Didn't roll a single one. So again, well done. It's just where the dice go. His big mistake for me, because again, I think that would have become a big win. His big mistake, which I think was game altering, and maybe he wasn't thinking I would do it, is I think right here he didn't need to be that aggressive. And I think that, maybe feed me the slaves, feed me a unit of vassals, and set up your counter charges, and allow yourself just to keep shooting me. That I think is what he should have done. Instead, even if he chooses to flee and allows me to blow up those units, and again, I think less selection. He chose alchemy. I think a vizier with witchcraft would actually complement his army extremely well with this, because he has the vassals with the bows. And I understand you want the Cadines, but you're still able to put out enough tokens, and you still have your hereditary spell. You don't need anything else. And that's it. Like I said, this was just a great fun game. Thank you so much for listening, and until next time, it will probably be another SmithF Invitational, or it's going to be what is it? There's this thing called Hogs Fest that's going on. It's up in Rochester, New York. I'm sure Jeff will still make room for anybody who wants to go, and reach out to Jeff Durham if you need his information. Please let me know. The U.S. Canadian border should be open at that point in time, and I mean, he feeds us well. He's one of the best. I will say that since I've come back to tournaments about four years ago, meeting him has been one of the best people I've met so far. I mean, I can't say enough about him, and he puts on a heck of a show. So, and that is this thing called Hogs Fest. I'm not sure if you heard of it. Until next time, happy gaming.